I can bring it up without the sign though, and just without the cameras up, and then once he comes up, then be able to get that going so we are live and people can hear us. And we are just going to be starting the pre-show for now. So, everybody, you might have noticed here that I have now hit 1,500 followers. That's awesome. And yeah, I'm really excited. I never even celebrated 1,000 properly, so I'm looking to do a marathon probably on November 6th, because a Thursday will work pretty well for me. Um, we have not quite got Adam in here, so give us just a moment. Uh, So Diggs, how's everything been with you? Haven't been on either of my shows in at least a month now.
I know, because you keep scheduling everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps wanting to be on, so I'm just waiting for a free spot, and one opened up. That's good. But yeah, I haven't really been following H1Z1 at all, and then I just happened to kind of check in today and noticed that you had like the whole team on,
Yeah, I
like
had
everybody in the building
8 people,
yesterday. So I
Smed
I just
trolling
started.
and everything.
I've watched about 5 minutes of that part from yesterday. I would have popped on if I'd known that was going to happen. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Well, you
I
only
didn't
got
even
in there.
know.
It's going to be two.
Yeah, that was all that I had scheduled, and then all of a sudden, hey, it's everybody. You know what the sad thing is? It's probably not going to get more than at most up to +5 on Reddit because everything gets constant downvotes. So,
Mm.
I put up a link of, starting just at the point where we're talking to the developers. And, if they're not into that, then whatever. I tried my best. The Reddit community just sucks. That's what it is.
I've been in a flame war the last. I guess it was mostly yesterday because Flatus put up the reminder for Evercast show on Sunday,
Mm.
and somebody wrote, "You might want to contextualize who the those names are that's going to be on the stream." And I was like, well, if you don't recognize those names, you don't watch landmark streams. They're not going to mean anything.
Yeah.
It's not going to get you. And they're like, you're being so antagonistic. Just shut up. You don't know anything about marketing and trying to get new people. I'm like, I'm not being antagonistic, but if you watch landmark streams, you will know those names. And if you don't know the names, that's just not going to get you to watch.
Pretty much.
Um, and really, it's not a reminder. It's not. They aren't really actively trying doing that to try and get new people. It's just to remind people that one, it's no longer bi-weekly, and two, they've changed the time. Um,
Hey, Adam.
Hello. Didn't
Welcome.
crash this time.
All right. Let me
but yeah, that's
switch the
Reddit for
cameras
you.
here. Yep, pretty much. All right. Now I've got all your pictures in the right faces. I mean, you know what
Right. And the
I
I
nice
know what you
faces and everything. Yeah.
mean. All right. So we got some awesome folks in here. D-Man, I want to give a shout out everybody. Go to Clarity in game. It's D-Man's build. He has some amazing stuff, not only some Halloween stuff that's just some awesome use of props that I gave it a tour last Sunday, but that's not enough to do it justice. You really gotta check it. I'm sure he's gonna do something with lava. This can be totally awesome too. And he also has a bunch of sci-fi stuff that's also pretty amazing. So definitely worth checking out. So yeah, sorry to hear about your cat, Adam. That sucks
Oh,
about
yeah.
Cleo.
I
Kitty.
appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, poor kitty. Yeah, it was a little bit of a surprise too. I knew she was getting ill, but this when it happened, it just kind of happened and came on pretty quick.
Gotcha.
How old?
And she was a little
What?
over 16 years old.
Yeah, well, that's a good long life for a cat.
Yeah, no, I definitely, and it was just very surreal because that Saturday, my assistant manager had called me and said, "Oh, hey," because I was supposed to work a double, and he's like, "You want me to work for you tonight?" And I was like, "Absolutely, that would be great." And came home basically to have 2 hours with her before she passed away.
Mm-hmm.
You
Oh.
know, so like if I had been at work, I she may not have made it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got the impression she was waiting for me to get home. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it was sad. I don't want to dwell on it too much. The hard part was really having to take care of her body after she had passed. And,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, I'm going to miss her. She was a good little friend. She and I have been through a lot together. And, you know, life's going to be a little different for me now.
Yep. And
But anyway,
that was the only cat you had, right?
well, my mom and dad had two cats, and they both passed away. One in the spring and one in the summer. So they were all around the same age. So
I
ironically, it's
gotcha.
not like we're killing our cats.
Yeah.
It's just they were all hitting that age that
Gotcha.
it was time for them to move on. So and I like them very much. But Cleo was my, she adopted me,
Yeah.
and we've been hanging out for about 14 years. So she was about almost 2 years old when I met her. So um, she was my compatriot through a whole and more than a number of exes, and she
Yep.
put up with all of that bullshit. You know what I mean? So okay, time to move this direction. Now time to, and she was
Yeah.
always there with me. So so anyway, work is chugging along, finally getting things to where I think they need to be. My boss's boss is going to be visiting my store tomorrow, and everyone got all uptight, and we're like, and I'm kind of like at this point where like we've done a great deal of miracle working to get the store to where it's at now, and I have the attitude that I'm like, this guy comes in tomorrow and is a dick and doesn't like it, and he can suck my dick and he can run the store himself. I
Hmm.
just don't care. But otherwise, all things considered, all is cool.
Dwarves or
But think
ogres?
dwarves,
Well,
hello. Yeah.
well, hold on. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
Alrighty. We'll tell you what. Give me just a few minutes to refresh my drink and grab a quick smoke, and I will be
Yeah.
right back,
You
guys.
do what you got to do. We'll just be
Alrighty.
chilling for a little bit. All right. So, so what's new with you? You're still pretty much doing the same old sort of thing, or any?
Yeah, I'm kind of excited for. Yeah, I mean, day to day, it's the same old stuff, same old, same old. Although, I do need to put another push of a resume into SLE because I saw localizations pop up on the blueprint
Ooh.
a little while ago. Um, so since they mentioned it, that sounds like I should see if I can get in on some of that. I have um, so my English is my first language, Spanish is my second, Japanese is my third, Russian is my fourth because I and that's like very semi fluent because I did a show in Moscow like 10 years ago. I have two new roommates who are Russian, so I'm getting to practice my
There you
Russian.
go. There you go.
Um, and also one of the so one of there was a girl in so I was in the Moscow tribe of Hare in '99,
Hmm.
and which is how I learned Russian because I did the whole show in Russian. Um, and one of the girls from the show and her father was there was a girl in the show. Her father was a musician in the show, keyboardist. Um, Those two and her mom are on. They're in the semifinals for Russian X Factor right
Nice.
now, which is kind of fun. So she sent me some YouTube clips of the family, which I haven't. Whoops,
Yeah, it's kind of
there's a fire somewhere.
yeah, indeed.
Um, so yeah, I haven't seen the family in like 15 years, and now they're on Russian X Factor in the semifinals. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. That's totally awesome. So then you've been keeping in contact with them pretty regularly. Well, how long ago did you do the show? That's 10 years ago, you said?
It was 15 years
15
ago,
years
and
ago.
so it's Facebook. She found me on Facebook last year, and then there was a kid in the show. He played like the youngest kid, so he was 15 at the time, and now he's 30, and he just found me like 2 months ago on Facebook.
Nice.
So that's really surreal because he's twice as old as the last time I saw. It's a little weird. He's not a little kid anymore. Um, but
Yeah,
that's
but you're
cool. So
just
yeah,
as old
now
as him as you were back then.
that's
Or
true.
you're just
But
as much older than him, I should say. Yes.
he's now an adult, which is a little
Yeah.
different.
Oh,
Different
go and get a
interaction.
drink with him then.
That's the thing. That's right.
It's like, hey, you're an adult now. Let's get a
Um,
drink.
that's right. So yeah, that's cool. And I'm getting to practice my Russian, relearning some stuff, and doing some nuances.
Do you
It's
know what
fun.
the drinking age is in Russia?
I'm sure it's 18. Because I'm sure they're drinking before that. Everybody has to have vodka.
Yeah.
That's just.
Well, I was gonna say like it could be even younger than 18, like 16 or something potentially.
Yeah.
But
Oh no, I
yeah,
don't think it's younger, but
no. All right. Well, I guess 18's the number a lot of modern countries have adopted, but
yeah.
and then there's 21 out here.
But I mean, I'm sure it's probably close to Europe in that kids are probably drinking a little bit of wine or whatever, but
Probably
I don't think they could go out and buy it.
distilled potato wine. Yep.
So the year I turned 18, I was living in Washington D.C. and they did a grandfather clause thing. So my birthday's in September. Everybody whose birthday was before July was able to drink at 18, and everybody afterwards had to wait till 21. So
Mm.
technically, I had to wait until 21 while most of my friends were drinking it at 18
Yeah.
legally.
Yeah. Yeah, Cody. This is the pre-show. There's no rails here. This is kind of like that last episode of
Evercast show.
yeah, where it's like the bumper cars thing, where it's just like the little electrical thing that is kind of attached to above, and I don't know how it works. It's magic, but damn, those things can get kind of fast. You can bump people pretty fun. Like get them all going one direction, and then start kind of circling around the opposite direction, and then hit someone head on. It's yeah, 5 miles per hour or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. But no rails here. So, when was the last time you've been on bumper cars? I haven't been on that in like at least 8 years.
It's been a long, long, long time for me. Decades.
Bumper cars. I wonder if there's anywhere in Vegas that has bumper cars.
That's scary because, of course, now I have to associate Vegas with uh, SLE. Um, so I'm just imagining a trip to Bumper Car Palace with everyone.
Yes.
That could be a lot of fun for H1Z1 actually. But oh, were you watching to see who was it that came in as the Karen?
Yeah, I
Was that
didn't. I couldn't tell who that was, and I wasn't sure what was going on. It's like, is this some sort of a Halloween thing, or is this a Karen theme
Yeah,
thing? Because I was still getting
yeah.
my audio stuff set up and didn't quite catch it.
Looked great.
Well, it's it's something. Who was it? Do you know?
I was expecting it to be Maggie, but it couldn't have been Maggie.
No, absolutely not. She's many states away now, making
Yeah.
awesome videos. Adam looks scary
They didn't even have the
today.
courtesy to let us know. They should have let us know that at least at the end of the show.
Yeah. Oh well. I'm sure we can ask.
Yep. Yeah, like I guess we're gonna have to ask that permissions question. See
Yeah.
if we can get an answer. I'll try and tweet it and see if they'll give me an answer.
Has Landmark been running any better for you recently? With I guess with today's update.
No, so I need a hot fix because right now my avatar is stuck with its arms like out to the sides.
Oh, the T pose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and um, so I was able to put some check out the armor and stuff, but I'd start crafting some stuff. I don't know if I want to run around like that crafting, but thankfully it sounds like they're going to be doing some little fixes. So maybe whatever they do, or it might get fixed in the bounce. Um, but I'm hoping because there's a lot of stuff that's cool.
Yeah. I
I haven't had a chance to jump in yet, see if there's any fix for me. But I can say that I lost my claim.
oh man, that sucks.
I know. Well, with everything going on and all of that, it's not surprising I missed getting my upkeep in time. By the way, Nero, you got a Manicam to turn on there so I can see your smiling face.
Oh yeah, I got it set, but I guess I didn't activate it here.
Cool. And I shouldn't have to bow out during the show. Everything should be well under control at this point.
Okie dokie. Good, good, good.
So that's good news.
All right. Yeah, that looks right. That looks like the correct positions for everything. So,
Yeah, there. Look at that. It's Nero. Hi, Nero. Nice to see you.
yeah, you
So
too.
that means we'll get to drink today.
Why, are we going to be talking about that game a bit?
If he's not going to be bouncing out the room, that's why I did it last time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Fair enough.
All right, I'll be back in just a second, folks.
No problem. Don't mind me. I'm distracted by my new phone. I'm waiting for. So I tried to port my existing number, and apparently it's not going
What kind
well.
of phone did you
so-
get?
This is a Nexus 5.
Okay. Is that a recently released model or?
No, this is last year's model. Today they just announced officially the Nexus 6,
Uh-huh.
which will be a 6-inch phone, and this is going away.
So that's
I bought
that's
I bought
a
it
5
just
inch.
in time. This is a 5-inch. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Android.
Hmm.
So I have had their tablet for a while. I've been very happy with it. So once I had a paycheck, I wanted to get back into a smartphone, but not the bill. And
Mm.
Ting is really good about they only charge you for what you actually use.
Hmm.
So once I'm not working and I'm like on Wi-Fi all the time, I won't be using much data.
Hmm.
My phone bill could be like $20 a month, $15 a month,
Hmm.
and still never be like, oh shit, I ran out of minutes.
Right.
So
Right.
good service. It gets a lot of good word of mouth, but you have to buy the devices outright. So once I had a decent paycheck, that was one of the first things I did. So I'm trying to get rid of this stupid thing. Yes. Oh, yes. Look at that. That's what happens when you have no money. You have to
That's
get rid of fancy smartphones.
That's right.
So I'm looking to get, we tried to port the number. It's not going well, so we canceled it. And I'm just waiting for the news that the cancel went through so they can just give me a new number.
Gotcha.
And, I'm like, all right, is that going to happen tonight? We'll see.
It's so weird. Yeah, I was watching a All the things with phones are so weird. How we want to move from the little I forgot what you call them, the clamshell,
Hmm.
to the smartphone, and then there's a certain size that it has to be. Like, is it 5 inches? Is it 6 inches? Like how
I think
just to be able to read.
all of my it depends. Like I don't live on my phone. I have computers for that. I have
Hmm.
tablets for that. I have e-readers for that. I don't necessarily, this is nice to have in a pinch when you're shut off from all that stuff to do a little quick. Oh, I can read a quick chapter, but
Hmm.
would I do all my reading on it? No.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
all of my employees, almost all of them have like Galaxy S2s and like huge six
Yeah,
six
that's
inch
weird. Yeah,
phablets that I'm like, that is just
yeah,
too goddamn big.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean, especially for something that's supposed to be on you all the time. And
yeah,
4 inches, like this is kind of a sweet spot. The 5 inch mark is
yeah.
I'm pretty happy with, to be honest with you. So I'm sure that the minute they release the new hardware, the price will have dropped, and I will have ended up paying $50 or $100 more than I should have. But
Mm.
well, at least I got it. Oh, there's Nero's hat. He's got his hat. He's ready to go.
Yeah, well, we still got a few more minutes before the official start time
Ah,
here.
Adam, I did see. I was watching an episode, and I think it was last week's episode of this show, where this guy's been looking for his wife for the past couple of weeks, and she turned back up. Um, and he had found her phone out in the street, but couldn't find her.
hmm.
So she shows back up, and he says, "Why didn't you call me? You didn't call me." And she says, "Well, because I forgot your number." And he's like, "What do you mean?" When she's like, "Because I don't actually dial your number. I just, hit your
I hit.
name." And
Yeah.
and she's like, "Can you tell me my number?" And he's like, "It's 3 3." No, I I can't
Yep.
tell you either, so I lose.
Nice,
So it's so
nice.
cool to have that stuff come up. We do if we change our phone numbers, it's like I, I don't know. I just press a button. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
it's not a huge deal, and you know what I mean. At this point, I'm happy to kind of start fresh with a new number. You know what I mean? It's like, that's cool. I've got maybe more than a number of people have my number when they shouldn't.
Mhm.
But yeah. So, like I said, new toy, and hopefully it'll be up and running. So when I'm at work tomorrow, I have something to do besides refold costumes.
Mhm.
Be yelled at by a district manager because my end caps aren't perfect and you still have stuff to put out. I
So,
have worked a fucking miracle with this thing. Trust me. Like when we left today, one of my neighbor who's working with me and she's going to be jumping as an assistant looked around the store and she's like, "Oh, you got nothing to worry about. The store looks good." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. Fuck it.
good.
What's you gonna do? Fire me?" The money's all there.
Yeah,
Deposits are being
yeah,
made.
yeah.
We're meeting budget.
And so
You
when
know,
does that end?
so the store will be open through November 1st. On November 2nd, they'll close the doors.
Okay.
Basically, Halloween on the 31st, and then November 1st, they stay open for Day of the Dead. Apparently, that's
Oh, huh.
becoming more popular stateside.
Okay.
So they do that. Yeah, they even have a whole Day of the Dead section. Some really nice stuff, actually. Um,
I would call
and
that
then,
one no
yeah.
refunds day.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, probably that too. The other thing is you're going to expect to see a lot of people coming in going, "Why isn't anything on clearance? Is this on clearance? Is this 75% off?" And they don't do that. They just pack up. They inventory it. They pack it all up. They send it back to a warehouse, and then they put it back out next year with new
Mm,
stuff. You
wow.
know. Oh yeah, apparently Halloween is like their Christmas. It is like their biggest time of the year, and it's worth them doing all these pop-up stores all across
Hmm.
the country. So, in the scope of things, neighboring locations, I'm not going to name names, and I'm not going to rename who it is I'm working for in the interest of just not being a complete asshole. Um, Apparently, most of the other stores are on fire and hemorrhaging money and hemorrhaging staff.
Wow.
And oh yeah, I mean because it's a part-time gig, it's hard to get
Yeah.
reliable folks, and I've had my share of drama. That's why I couldn't make the show last week. I had an assistant manager walk out on me without telling me. Just left her keys on my table and walked out. So it was like, fuck. And so I was doing a double on Wednesday.
Wow.
Yeah, but we're kind of past that, and things are, we're kind of like just getting to the point where I've got the staff I need, and things are where they're, getting where they're supposed to be, and I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to sweat it. Like I said, if this guy's going to bust my balls, then he's a real just asshole, Yeah.
Hopefully
Yeah.
he's not watching this stream.
Hopefully not. Let's hope he's not secretly a huge fan, and I've just, wrecked it for everything.
Oh
I
well.
doubt that.
If he was a huge fan, I think he'd probably be more like, "Oh yeah, guess who I've got working in my store?" Not, that motherfucker.
Yeah, that's true.
Tenacious Lou, the Dead Feature Rant show for H1Z1 is every single Tuesday starting at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. It is a 2-hour show. We get guests from the community on there, try to get the developers on. We got Greg Henninger a few weeks ago. Just yesterday, we had 8 devs on the show joining in. So,
Yeah,
yes.
watch yesterday's show.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. And I don't think it's going to end there. I think they might like me a little bit. So,
So, well, when's this going to start happening over here, you jerk face?
I'm trying. Actually,
All right.
I'm getting ready to start hustling Adam Key. Be like, hey, I got some beer. Also, I've been doing this show for 36 weeks. I've only been doing Dead Feature Rant for 23 weeks, and I've had like 9 people from the team, and Smedley doing a little Smed bomb on the shorter term show, but the longer term show, I haven't had anybody on. What's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
So,
Oh, and warning ahead of time, internet has been flaky the last couple of days. I did a reset on everything. Knock on plaster, it should be okay. But if I do drop out, I'll be back in
gotcha.
a
Okie dokie. Yeah, it's fine, Tenacious Lou. But it is actually time for us to get started here. So, run the intro music. There is no intro music.
I was just going to say, wait, we got intro music?
I have old intro music, but it doesn't really sound that fancy. It's more of
Gotcha.
a groove than an intro tune, to be honest.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Dygz, do you remember it?
Yeah.
Dygz, helmet for us. No.
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 Just
I don't know if it could be because it's all like weird and atonal, or not atonal, but with the dissonance or whatever. Anyway,
Mhm.
yeah, let's get